Hi everyone, Shafiq again here at the Arts DAO Fest from San Francisco, who is a collector, an artist, a curator, and a Web3 Degen. Is that the right way to put it?
Yes, that's a great way of putting it, yes.
Hope you're enjoying Dubai. It's been a very hectic and an exciting week here with everything that's happening with the events and the weather, of course. So tell us, how has it been for you, and how are you enjoying the Arts DAO Fest to start with?
Well, luckily I was, I came just 2 nights ago, so I missed the flood. I almost didn't come because of that, because my family and I were concerned about it, but I saw that I knew that it would dry up. And I love Dubai, so I love Arts DAO, and I love what they're doing. Danush has become a good friend, so I want to come here and support him. And so yeah, I've been having a great 24 hours so far.
Amazing. It's great to have you here. I'm sure you're still jet lagged, but you're looking all good and awesome.
I've been around technology before Web 1 actually. So I've been living in Silicon Valley, before even the internet got started. I'm just super excited. The way that the evolvement of technology over time is what excites me, because you have to constantly be on your toes. I'm a lifelong learner, so I love continuing my education in technology, and I'm an artist and musician. So, it was a pleasure and a great discovery to find crypto arts early 2021 on Clubhouse during the pandemic, where we were locked in at our homes. And so I felt a great joy to be able to share my art and my music with the entire world. And then quickly I discovered so many other amazing artists from all over the world that I felt like it was a natural calling for me to empower and spotlight other artists and creators. And so I started getting into curation starting early in 2021. Like by June of 2021 was the first big curation that my team, Searchlight, and I worked on. It was for Bitcoin Miami.
Amazing.
June of 2021, and since then we've done like NFT NYC, Art Basel, Miami, Hong Kong, Sharjah, and now we're with House of Wisdom. That was with Global Art Exhibition. It's just been a pleasure to discover artists from all over the world and be able to spotlight them. And, everybody needs to be able to tell their stories. What sells the art, what connects the collectors with the art is the story behind the art. And so I love to empower artists to tell their story.
So I have a question there, because obviously there's a diverse group of people within the Web3 community, and a lot of them are people who just got into the Degen space, but they don't come from a background like yours, where you've experienced a lot of different phases of technology and also art. Like coming from a traditional sort of space in art, how did you find the transition to the digital space, and especially in the space of NFTs, which is still a very nascent space?
Yeah, absolutely. And just like the technology, I think it's very difficult for the artist to have that reach, right? Even if you're super talented, the art world is very gatekeeping. There's a lot of gatekeeping that happens in the art world. So what excited me about the crypto art movement was the decentralization of arts. So you can share your art whether you have 1,000 followers or 20,000 followers, as long as you have a great story and you make art because you're passionate about your trade, and you just want to share your art with the world to make this world a better place. So for me, it was a natural transition, because I just felt I was very much accepted as myself when I first got onto Clubhouse and discovered all these different NFT artists and traditional artists, and being able to spotlight and allow other artists to share their stories really, it's kind of like a selfish act for me, because it really lifts me up to be able to spotlight other artists and allow them, empower them to tell their story and have everybody's voice to be heard. I feel like we all have a great story, and I just want to make sure that everybody gets to show it. I love diversity and inclusion, and so that's sort of the ambassadorship that I've taken on as my responsibility to make this movement a good movement for all, not just a few.
So I have a lot of artist friends as well, who a lot of them are skeptical, but what would be your message to people who are still in that conservative space of art and culture, and they're still watching the Web3 space from a distance?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've onboarded probably over 1,000 artists and curated with my team. I'd say it's not easy to do alone. So that's why Searchlight, which is a team of volunteer curators that are themselves artists, but they feel like, again, the same passion of that we share together is to empower other artists from all over the globe, regardless of their followership and their status. So what I suggest to, and I also, when we curate, we also try to, for example, when we came to Sharjah, we brought 40 international NFT artists, and then we exhibited their art, and then we also onboarded 40 NFT. We paired them up with 40 traditional artists that are shown in galleries in Dubai and Sharjah. And it was kind of like an educational hand-holding type of an experience to educate them and allow them to make their own decisions. I never tell anybody to come into the Web3 if they're not ready, if they don't feel comfortable. That's not my place to push anybody, but I like to educate. And so I think they also need to take their own art career in their own hands. And if they're interested in, tapping their shoes, dabbling into Web3, I think it's a great way for them to find collectors from all over the world that resonate with their art and their style and their story. Again, to come back to story, which is a huge part of, artists getting collectors, because at least for me, I connect with the people that I collect with their story and their art. So it's a combination, it's a marriage between the story and the art. So
I think the good thing is we're still early. So for people who think like, it might be late, I guess it's still not late to come into Web3 as an artist or anybody who wants to learn. And the whole space is about education and learning. And we're all learning in this space as well.
I mean, we talk about the lifelong learners. And I used to be in education for 11 years at a college preparatory in Silicon Valley. And from the early on of the Photoshop and like Illustrator and Macromedia, Flash, and some of these apps are not around, like Flash is not around anymore. But for me, digital art is just another medium. It's just another canvas that you can create on. So I create mixed media art pieces. I'm a piano player. I make my own music. But I also really enjoy playing with the digital tools from early on, because it was like earlier I was spray painting downstairs and I got the paint all over myself. And what excited me about digital art was that it wasn't messy. At that time, of course, I still create mixed media and I love letting, paint all over my hands and everything. But I think it's just a different canvas, like I said. Like right now, for example, we've gone from NFTs, ETH and second layers. Yeah, and now it's ordinals, Bitcoin, inscriptions.
Exactly. You're following the space very closely.
I curated, for Arts DAO downstairs in the Arts DAO lounge, a curation of some of the founders and of ordinals that I have connected with, and I see the way that they play, the great players, because it's a very small community. Even Web3, we are very small. That's
exactly.
That in order for us to succeed, we do need diversity and inclusion. And the ordinals community is smaller than the NFT community.
Exactly. Actually, I just hosted an event 2 days ago specifically for the ordinals community. If I knew, I would have invited you.
Wow.
And I've been watching this space from the beginning, and now I'm back into the space, and we have the rules happening.
Yes.
Just like I had a few sleepless nights because of that as well.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, it's amazing to see that you also following that.
Yeah, I've been in the ordinals, since probably February of 23.
That's the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning. And actually, just most recently, I was an advisor for this drop called Blob, the Book of Ra, and Elok, the two major players in the ordinals space they have contributed so much to the space. And also I've gotten the chance to meet, Casey.
We could actually do a separate session for ordinals. Yeah. I would love to do that actually with you, because
I would love
I'm
that.
planning to get a bit deeper into that space.
Absolutely. And so when I talked to Galush, I told them, I said, hey, you guys' event is right on the happening.
Yes.
You should have an ordinal section there. And he's like, hey, I'm open to it. Do you know any ordinal founders? I know a lot of them.
They were with me 3 days ago.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, I mean, I've gotten to know a lot of good players, and it's a very collaborative community. They're very open.
It's a very different kind of community. It's very close there, but
it's more of a collaboration.
Yes.
Actually, that's what excited me about Web3 at the beginning, because I felt like you don't need to compete anymore with other people. I've never been a competitor. I only compete with myself. I want to try to get better every day. As I'm still in this world. So. But the ordinals community is so collaborative. Everything is shared. People share their knowledge. People help others on board. And so that's really one of the really big keys that really excited me to get involved with them. And like I said, I've gotten to know a lot of the builders that are just created amazing, and they're downstairs on the show. I can't include everybody, of course.
It's very, very amazing to be hearing all that stuff. I think we could have a few sessions on all these different subjects, especially with your experience of so many different spaces, from art, culture to music. And now we're talking about not just Web3, we're going into the next level with ordinals and the Bitcoin ecosystem. So it's amazing, it's great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And it's lovely to speak to you, but I would love to continue this conversation.
Yeah.
But also for the sake of the community, it would be nice to know how they can connect with you. What is the best ways to get in touch with you?
Yes, so on social medias, on all socials, Instagram and Twitter, it's StudioPaiman, so it's P-A-I-M-A-N.
So it's StudioPaiman. That's the best way to connect with Paiman.
That's right, on Twitter. And then, of course, there's the Telegram and WhatsApp and LinkedIn and all that stuff. But I try to just stay focused a little bit on Twitter mostly. So yeah, if anybody needs any help, I'm always...
So any of the users, community, they want to get to know more about Paiman and what he's doing, please connect on his socials. And it's been lovely to talk to you, and I look forward to staying in touch with you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Yes.